Florida Governor Ron DeSantis is heading to the Hawkeye state today. He's scheduled to hold two events as part of his book tour, one in Davenport this morning, another in Des Moines. Iowa Governor Kim Reynolds will join him at both of those events. DeSantis has not announced any intention to enter the presidential race just yet, but it looks like other 2024 candidates are focusing in on the battleground state. Nikki Haley also traveled to Iowa this week, and former President Trump has a trip planned for early next week. NBC News correspondent Dasha Burns joins us now. So, Dasha, Governor DeSantis making his debut in the Hawkeye state today. On the record, though, it's for his book, not a campaign stop just yet, although a lot of book tours usually don't go through Iowa. So what do we know about his stops today?
Yeah, that's exactly right, Joe. Can you believe it? We are in Iowa. We are many, many months away from the Iowa caucuses, and yet we have a lot of these big names, these contenders coming to the state, unofficially kicking off the 2024 cycle here. So, yeah, you're right. This is part of DeSantis's book tour. We are going to see him on stage at both events with Iowa Governor Kim Reynolds, and they will be doing a fireside chat style conversation here. The book is largely a playbook of Florida policies and what he describes as a blueprint for America's revival. It's been a sort of a vehicle for DeSantis to get his message out. So we're expecting him to talk a lot about what he sees as Florida's biggest successes under his administration and how that could apply here in Iowa and nationally as well, Joe.
You know, and Dasha, as we said, DeSantis hasn't announced a bid for the White House yet, but this stop in battleground Iowa does give him a chance to interact with crucial voters there. So what should we be watching for?
Well, watching for how he appeals to voters outside of Florida. This is the first major test for him in a state that really prizes retail politics, Joe. The voters here take their duties very, very seriously. They're going to be going out to all of the candidates' events. I talked to a longtime Republican stalwart in the state, Bob Vanderplas, who pointed out to me that, you know, he's seen many an early flame burn out here in Iowa, and the caucuses here are going to be really important for sort of winnowing the field. So there's a lot of hype around DeSantis right now, and Vanderplas told me that he really needs to come here and live up to it in person now. Take a listen to what he told me.
Iowa is a very retail state. They're very wise and they're very savvy when it comes to this. This is not their first rodeo. They're not easily enamored, not even by the former president. Work hard. Shake their hands, do things that kind of like your neighbor, do unto others as you'd have done unto you. And if he does that, he'll be very formidable in this race.
And, you know, Joe, we've seen DeSantis a lot behind a podium as governor at press conferences. We haven't seen him a lot in that sort of retail environment. So it will be interesting to watch and see how he interacts with voters here in the Hawkeye state.
You know, in Dasha, we know Democrats are moving away from the importance of Iowa, not so much for Republicans. So just how crucial is Iowa going to be in this next election cycle?
Oh, it's going to be huge. I mean, you see it by the fact that so many people are coming here so early. Haley, DeSantis, Trump, all in the span of a few days. I did speak to a Trump advisor who sort of gave us a preview of what we can expect from the former president on Monday. We are going to be watching for the sort of contrast that he strikes between himself and the Florida governor. The advisor tells me we should look out for a heavy emphasis on what Trump sees as the biggest policy differences between himself and DeSantis, things like ethanol, like Social Security and Medicare. So we're going to see some of that. The advisor tells me, though, there's not a plan to directly attack DeSantis, though, of course, we know the former president is known to go off script. So we'll see if any of the nicknames get dropped on Monday. We did see a fresh poll out this morning from the Des Moines Register that showed Trump's support slipping a little bit here in Iowa and DeSantis's momentum kind of gaining. But again, very early days here, Joe. A lot to watch out for in the coming months.
Yeah, we used to joke that Dasha had become a resident of Michigan. Now I think Iowa might be her new address for the next year or so. Dasha Burns, thank you so much.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow today's top stories and breaking news by downloading the NBC News app.